So I think we're ready to get started again. So Nancy will go another hour out from here. So at this point, I'm going to do my darndest to get to as many people as possible. Boom, boom, boom. Real quick, questions and answers. So who would like to start? Yes, right here, please.
I wanted to see if my brother would come through at all.
I cannot promise or guarantee, as you know. So give me his first name and the age, or approximate age when he passed, and then your first name, please.
My first name's Colleen. His name's Robert, or Bob.
Bob.
And he passed in...
I just want to know his age, or approximate age.
About 30.
Okay. And he passed very suddenly, very quickly.
Mm-hmm.
Is that correct, Colleen?
Yes.
Okay. Very musical. Appreciated
I'm not
music,
sure.
enjoyed music.
I don't know, actually.
Why wouldn't you know that?
He's much older than I am, so I was
Okay,
younger.
so I can only be as good as your memory.
Okay.
Okay, because I'm asking about him being musical because he's playing air guitar and he thinks he's Peter Frampton.
I can see that.
If I'm connecting with the proper energy.
It would make sense to me.
Now, are you single currently?
No.
Okay. He's making reference to the relationship or the status of the relationship.
I can
So
see that.
things, so he says he wants you to be free. I don't know what that means.
Okay.
You understand?
I do understand.
Okay, all right. So he wants you to be free. He wants you to be happy and content. He also is using the word suppressed. It makes me feel as though you've been suppressed or oppressed, I will say.
I can see that.
Thank you. Yep. He says he lived life to the fullest. He lived hard and fast.
He did.
He says he lived hard and fast. He shows me he burnt the candle at both ends. So he's actually showing me a candle with flame at both ends. You understand?
I do.
Yes. And he says he gave your mother gray hair
He did.
and almost gave her a heart attack.
He did.
Is that true? That part
It's
true?
very true.
That she almost had a heart attack or that she did?
That she took everything very hard.
That he did.
So yes.
Okay, because he says he kept her up at night with worry.
Absolutely.
Understand? He says he was very reckless,
He was.
particularly driving,
He was.
very hard and fast. He says, I always felt like I was in the Indy 500.
Yes.
You understand?
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Now, he did not leave children behind, or did he?
He did.
He did, because he makes me feel as though I don't know if he was estranged from them or did not have custody of his own children. Is that correct?
Correct.
Okay, because he's making me feel as though he didn't have the kind of bond with his own children that he should have had or wanted to have. You understand? He says he was denied.
He was.
He was denied. And he says, and with just cause. And with just cause, he says, now I'm smelling alcohol connected to him,
Yes.
and I'm also being shown a marijuana cigarette connected to him, which is my symbol for marijuana and maybe other things.
Correct.
Yep. So he says, yeah, I lived the lifestyle of a rock star. So he was showing me that earlier. Yep. He says, he has a headstone.
Yes.
Is that correct? And your mother goes out to the headstone?
My mother's passed.
She's passed. She had gone out to the headstone and placed flowers
Yes.
there because he's showing me that. He's acknowledging that. And he says, I was very egocentric. He says, I was very, it's all about me.
He was.
All about me, he says, yeah. He says, I'm sorry that I treated you like a gnat.
Okay.
Like a nuisance, buzzing around me. Get
Okay.
lost, kid. You know, you're bothering me. Get lost. Yeah. He actually says it like W.C. Fields. Like,
Okay.
get lost, kid. You're bothering me. So you want to think about that.
Okay.
And I don't know if there's anyone that would still know if he, imitated voices, did cartoon voices,
Okay.
that kind of thing. Do you?
I could ask my sister.
someone would know about that. Thank you. Yeah. Because he sort of does it in a sort of a caricature type of voice. Ah, get out of here, kid, you bother me, kind of thing. Yep. Now, are you the cat person?
Yes.
Okay, because there's a female cat that's rubbing up against your legs.
Okay.
So is there one that's in spirit?
Yes.
Female.
Yes.
I think he's being very specific. Females in spirit. Yep. Okay. And did you just get somebody neutered?
Yes.
Thank you, because he's making reference to that, because he says no litters. No litters.
Okay.
Okay.
Wow.
Yeah. He said, and he was known to use very colorful language, correct?
Yes.
Your brother.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Bobby. Somebody called him Bobby. Your mother called him Bobby? Yeah, he calls himself Bobby. He says, excuse me, please. He says, you can't fucking get a hit anywhere here. So, I don't know.
Okay. Oh, wow. That would make sense.
He says the place is dry. He says the place is dry. But he says, I was the master of my own demise.
He was.
You understand?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah. He says, I was the master of my own demise. And he says, what a fucking idiot. He says, I pissed away so much. You understand? We need the tissues, please. He says, I pissed away so much. And he says, well, that's what that shit'll do to you. He says, clouds your thinking. He says, I thought that I was entitled. And he says, and I was pretty good at playing the victim card. He says, I regret that you don't have very many good memories of me.
Makes sense.
And the shit I gave Mom. He says, I want you to know that I am in a position of official capacity. He says, I am making up for some lost time in that I am a liaison for the souls of young children who are a little confused and disoriented for going out so quickly. He says, I'm a friendly face that serves as a tour guide and concierge. It makes me feel like he had trouble holding a job.
At one point, yes.
Yeah. So he wants you to know that he is gainfully employed, he is doing good work, and he has the opportunity to connect with the energy of children, young people, because he makes me feel as though that was something that was sort of lacking while he was here physically. And who got all his record albums?
I don't. His ex-wife.
He's. I don't know much about Carole King, but there's the album Tapestry, so I don't know if that's a favorite of yours or if that was his, but I'll tell you, he's directing my attention to that album specifically, so there might be something about it or a specific song on it that I would encourage you to check out, because it might give you more information about his perspective, the lyrics to it, okay? It says, adios.
Thank you.
So I don't know if you remember him saying that as a sign-off.
Right now.
You'll want to think on that.
Okay.
Questions about anything I've said? Yeah, all right. Thank you.
Thank you.
He says, yeah, she got what she came for.
Yes, that's his name.
He says, I regret that I wasn't as reliable as I should have been.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. That makes sense to you.
Mm-hmm.
All right.